It is Friday the 13th. Good morning and welcome to THG News Today with Mervin Henley, right here on THG Network. The news this morning, of course, is powered by Carl & Sons Unique Bakery on the island of St. Martin. Let me say good morning to the folks at Carl & Sons Unique Bakery. If you're here for the first time, we always ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you do not miss any information whatsoever, any news as it relates to the Caribbean or in the diaspora. Now, let's get the news started for today. And with some sad news, really, out of St. Lucia. Tragedy struck in Castries on Wednesday when the body of 7-year-old Nehki Poleon was discovered in a river. Nehki's family had posted a missing persons report on Facebook the day before. The boy's father, William Poleon, said he was devastated and confused over the tragedy. William, who has been a single parent since Nehki was a preschooler, detailed his desperate search for his son since Monday, according to the St. Lucia Times. He explained that being a bit older, Nehki had been walking home with friends after school and usually stayed at a home or played in the yard until his father returned from work. William said when he arrived home on Monday, he noticed Nehki was missing when he didn't open the door when he called. The father recalled searching the house and noticing that Nehki had changed clothes and left. William recounted desperately canvassing the neighborhood and even checking the pig pen where Nehki often played with his cousin, but found no sign of his son. As a result, he reported the child's disappearance to the police. However, William said he learned that a missing child report could only be filed after 24 hours. Nevertheless, he continued searching. On Wednesday, William and the search party took a walk along the river near the pig pen Nehki frequently visited. That was where William discovered Nehki's slippers. The river, known for its depth, heightened his fears. In a heart-wrenching turn of events, William told the St. Lucia Times his friend decided to dive into the river and emerged with Nehki's body. After about 10 minutes, according to the father, "I see my friend come up and bring Nehki for me," the heartbroken father stated. William said he collapsed to his knees upon the discovery. "I never expected that Nehki to come out of that water, somewhere else, but not in that water," he said. The single father suspects that Nehki might have fallen into the river while trying to retrieve his phone, leading to the child's tragic demise. According to the dad, "Nehki was my everything, struggling to come to terms with the loss." He lamented that despite having 2 other children, Nehki was the only one who lived with him, and their bond was incredibly special. An autopsy is scheduled to determine the exact cause of Nehki's death. Truly a heartbreaking story. I know that it is something that, and it is a conversation that needs to be had. And I know that it is something that Caribbean folks, we probably take for granted, or, we live as one, as neighbors. A child can stay in the yard and play until the parents come home or the relatives, or they stay there by themselves, or whatever the case may be. I mean, in America, not that I'm trying to make a comparison, but yes, at the same time I am, that you can't do stuff like that. And this is a 7-year-old, and my heart goes out to the father. But at the same time, and it's not him, it's not him I'm talking about, but again, it is something that is a customary thing around the Caribbean islands, where parents go to work or they go out, and they take for granted that maybe there's a house next door or in the same yard, and the child will be there until they'll get home. And that is something that I don't know. I don't agree with that. I can't subscribe to that. I don't believe any minor should be left unattended. And yes, he said that sometimes the child will go next door or something like that to play with a cousin, or he will stay in the house until the father gets home. Anything could have happened. And something happened here. The tragic death of a 7-year-old. Another thing that stood out to me in this heartbreaking story, he went to the police to make a report, to give a report of a missing child's report. And he was told, and probably this is what is on the books, the laws, or whatever, I don't know. But he was told that that a report cannot be made after 24 hours. 24 hours for a missing child. And I am sure that the father would have said, "My 7-year-old child is missing." 7 years old. And how can an officer, even if it's 24 hours, how can you stay there and you sit there? I mean, you may be in the right because you may say it's the law, and just say to that person, When you hear that a 7-year-old child is missing and you'll say, wait 24 hours? 24 hours and a child is missing? 7 years old? This is not 18 years old or 20 something year old or whatever. A 7-year-old, a minor. So the police turn back the father. No, we cannot help you. Wait 24 hours. If your 7-year-old, if they don't show up, turn up in 24 hours, then come back to us. You guys are sick. That is sick. Madness. Let's continue with the news. Out of Nevis, the police are investigating a shooting that resulted in the death of 31-year-old Lawvinton Forbes in Hamilton. This occurred on September the 11th, and this is according to WinFM News. According to police reports, Forbes was shot multiple times while in his vehicle outside his residence by unknown assailants. He was transported to the Alexandra Hospital by a private vehicle and was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. The police are seeking information from the public to assist in the investigation. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact the local police station or provide anonymous tips via the Crime Stoppers hotline at 707.
Are you refusing to take us to the airport? Are you refusing, ma'am? No, I don't want your help. Yes or no? Airport.
I want to call you to some taxi.
No, I don't want to call. All right, Robbie, call 911. Call 911. Robbie, just call the police. I need you to call. We're gonna call the police because you're not taking us, and I'm feeling unsafe. I want to go back to the. Robbie, call 911, please.
I drop you airport.
No, call 911.
The video of an incident involving the driver of Taxi 53 and some visitors, which went viral in several media platforms on Monday, September 2nd, was immediately brought to the attention of the Minister of Tourism, Economic Affairs, Transport and Telecommunications, TIA, Grisha Maarten. In the viral video, the visitors were heard repeatedly asking the taxi driver to transport them back to the airport, apparently after the taxi driver could not find the location where they had to be dropped off. The taxi driver seemed to have an issue communicating effectively in English. She had a deep Haitian accent and at some points was speaking in her native language. The tourists ended up calling the police and they were eventually transported to the airport. The minister said she had instructed the relevant departments of her ministry to investigate the matter thoroughly. This is why I have not made any public statement about it until now, said Maarten, breaking her silence on the matter. According to the minister, the taxi driver in question was heard and it was decided that she should be suspended for a period of 30 days, during which time she is to register for training courses that will improve her service and communication skills. I have apologized in writing to the visitors concerned for this unfortunate experience and in addition invited them to return to the island at their convenience at the expense of the ministry, the tourism minister stated. She explained that there is currently no law or policy in place that allows the ministry to revoke taxi and or bus licenses. However, we plan to implement such measures in the near future. Incidents like these are unacceptable, and if we want to hold people accountable for their actions, we must establish clear and strict criteria. Our tourism industry is too vital to allow one person to jeopardize it for others, she said in a press release. Meanwhile, as part of a more systematic response to the incident, the ministry has already set in motion a process to establish standardized training for the public transportation sector, especially for taxi drivers who are generally referred to as ambassadors. They will be trained in areas such as customer service and etiquette, history, culture, and the basic geography of the island, communication skills, first aid, and CPR. The goal, according to Minister Maarten said, is to make them deliver better service to their customers, which will make these feel safe and comfortable. Moreover, she said the Inspectorate of Economic and Transport Affairs is exploring a digital system to assist with compliance and to enhance the customer experience. This system, she said, has already been used in Aruba, for example, to modernize the sector. Maarten said more information will be provided in the coming weeks once discussions are finalized with the public transportation operators and other stakeholders in the hospitality sector. We would have seen the video. If you have not, we're here showing it on our channel. I saw the video and it was, I cringed in some areas where this taxi driver, she, I guess, got confused and I saw people bashing the taxi driver, but this could have happened to anyone. Yes, I agree with the minister in all she said about education of the taxi drivers and learning more about the tourism industry and more about the island and stuff, geography and directions and all of that. But one thing I was not too clear on, though, she said that there isn't a law or a policy in place to revoke the license of a taxi driver or a bus operator. So if there isn't a license to revoke, if you cannot revoke the license of a taxi driver operator, I'm just curious, how can you suspend someone then for 30 days? So how is that? How does that work? 30-day suspension. I guess you guys know what you're doing. Yeah, but St. Maarten, of course, is always one of the destinations that it's the capital of the Caribbean. That's what they call St. Maarten, the friendly island. It is, and one of the best tourist destinations, and not just for tourists, for anyone. St. Maarten, my second home, I believe. Yes. And with that, we've just concluded THG News for today, THG Network. Let me say good morning to the fine folks there on St. Maarten. My mom lives on St. Maarten, so good morning to you. We'll be back on Monday morning, God's willing, with a similar presentation. Have yourselves a safe and a blessed weekend. I am Mervin Hanley.
Maarten Sons have been serving the people of St. Maarten for over 40 years. And the food and service get better and better. From early morning, customers flock to the bakery for their favorite sandwiches, cakes, pastries, you name it. First thing at mornings and last thing at afternoons, folks rush to Maarten Sons for simply the best. There are two locations, Colbay and on the Punfill. In Colbay, the opening hours are Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. On Saturdays, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on Sundays, 6:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Opening hours on the Punfill, Monday to Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, 6:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. We also cater for weddings, parties, special events, whatever the occasion. It's Maarten Sons. Our staff, we are always happy to serve you. Call us today, the Colbay location, 721-544-2462. That's 721-544-2462. Or in Phillipsburg, 721-543-1059. That's 721-543-1059. It's Maarten Sons Bakery. We are here to serve you. Nevis, satisfy your sweet tooth at Feaser's, the cozy spot in Charlestown, known for its mouth-watering ice cream and dal parade. We are open Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come in and sample our patties, sandwiches, air-fried wings with fries, hot dogs, rotis, and now our famous smoothies, in all flavors, of course. And don't forget to try the famous bus-up shut and saltfish. It's Feaser's, located at the entrance to the Cotton Ginnery Mall in Charlestown, Nevis. They're also available by phone, so place your order by calling 1-869-665-2458. Don't ask about the rest, just try the best.